eyes on this contest tonight, Doris, as these two squads duke it out for playoff positioning.
Brian, good teams know who their competition is. And when that happens, even in a regular season game, the quality of competition and the intensity gets immediately ramped up. And guess who gets to benefit from that? You and I.
Outside, Green. Shot clock at 6.
Ref's calling it close already as he picks up a quick early foul.
First team foul.
Pass to Miles. Shot clock at 5. Rebounded by Marion. And it's the Mavericks ball. They beat the Nuggets during the last encounter in Denver.
They were able to pull out a win last time because their bench came up big. It's so important to have depth on your roster.
I think sometimes the bench can make or break you in a particular game, and that was a total team effort, no question.
To the paint. And it's right missing. To the middle. Here's York. And down it goes. Dunked it through off a beautiful setup.
His playmaking is something to watch. Threading that pass right in there.
Pass to Green. And here's Holmgren. Back to Green. And that's good. His first bucket of the game.
That's about the vision that Chet Holmgren brings to the floor, sees the entirety of the game and finds a ready shooter.
Well, Doris, Chet Holmgren was one of the more highly touted guys coming into the league in a long time.
He was, BA, and he has lived up to the billing. At that size, to be able to shoot the ball, put it on the deck, be a force at the rim defensively. But maybe his best attribute, he is a tough competitor.
Oh, man, exploding to the rim.
Yep, makes the simple play. Marion passes to Purdue. Here's Longley. Green covering. Here's Purdue. From the high post, he drills it.
Pick works well there, but the defense left a lot to be desired.
It takes incredible effort to stay connected to the hip of the offensive player. You've got to want to work.
Good on the bucket. Green's got 6.
I love this approach. Getting him involved early, and it's already paying off.
They know that if this guy goes off, their chances of winning rise exponentially.
And he goes in for the dunk.
And this is something he does all too well. Great position for the putback there.
And I like how he doesn't think twice about passing it out. Just going right for the slam.
No reason to do so there. He was going to leave, no doubt.
Everyone in the building saw the obvious contact.
Denver shooting their first free throws of the game on this trip to the line. The first one falls. Brown's checked in for the Mavericks. That one misses. The Mavericks trailing. Here's Purdue. And there's a whistle. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
Man, he made sure to get his money's worth on that foul.
It's his first trip to the line. And he knocks down the first one.
Purdue.
Off on that one, so he goes 1 out of 2 at the line.
Well, a little shaky from the line, and instead of putting them in front, he's only able to tie it up.
Green up top, coming off a 34-point game against Milwaukee.
He is too good a shooter, guys, to be left open like that. The defense just dodged a bullet there.
Shots good by Purdue.
Just owning the painted area. If it's working, no need to change.
To the inside, Green. They get it back. Pass to Holmgren. Here's Roy. No points so far. And down it goes. 2 points. Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. Here's Purdue. Inside. And York gets it to go. York's got 6.
Yeah, attack mode from the start. Exactly what you want coming into this game.
Get it to the right guy, get a high percentage look, and that's the kind of game they want to play tonight.
Here's Roy, and the layup is good.
Well, they're trying to establish their attack down in the paint, and make no mistake, these help their overall confidence.
Here's Purdue. He picked up 36 points in their last win against Utah.
It's been that kind of quarter for him. The shot has just been unreliable.
Out of bounds, it'll go to the Mavericks. And Dallas making a change here. Carroll's checked in. For Dallas, they've gone 5 of 9 from the floor. Pass to York. Here's Purdue. Elbow shot on the way, and he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. He has 7.
Well, there's an unpredictability to his offensive game. He is always keeping the defense off balance.
And it's hammered home by Green.
Well, that possession to me highlights the importance of creating for your teammates.
Here's Carroll. Checking his numbers, he's put up a little over 9 points a game. Launches a 3. Nails it from 3.
Don't want to let him get into a rhythm from out there.
Nuggets trail by 3. Here's Roy. A 14-point game for him in the win against Milwaukee.
Oh, what a pretty pass. Throw to the open spot. Lead your teammate perfectly.
Here's Purdue. Pass to York. And it's Dallas scoring again.
In such a rhythm right now. Feathery touch. He's lighting them up.
Down low. Here's Green. Here's Miles. Here's Humphries. His last outing, he had 18 points. And a fast break now. The Mavericks on the run. And he'll draw the foul. He'll head to the line for 2. Dallas shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game. And he makes the first.
Substitution on the court.
And so it's Dallas with it. Pass to York. Here's Marion. Holmgren with the block.
Oh, that's a big-time rejection from Chet Holmgren, making his defensive presence felt.
And it's out of bounds. The Mavericks able to retain possession here. Second quarter basketball. Just over a minute and a half played so far. Just 5 on the clock. Purdue can't get it to go.
And it didn't fall, but still a great look.
You know, it can be frustrating when you make the right play and fail to reap the rewards. You just have to stay with it here.
On the court for Denver, we've got Green, also Chet Holmgren out there, and it's Miles in at the shooting guard position. Denver shooting their 6th and 7th free throw shots in the game. All right, Doris, you look at the criteria for traveling in the NBA. You think it's called often enough?
You know, BA, I'm not sure the answer to that. It's amazing to me the speed with which these officials have to make the calls. Sometimes you go back and watch it, what looks like a travel is not, or what's not called a travel is. This is actually a harder issue than people think.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Allie LaForce.
Hey guys, Fresh in their last game against the Bucks played some superb basketball. He came away with 34 points and he was very efficient from the field. And just a huge game for him. His coaches would love to see him do it again. Guys?
Okay, Allie, thanks. Well, that was an incredible night for him. They rode him to that win.
And he was more than happy to carry them, BA. He might still be feeding off that performance heading into this one.
Well, there's no doubt. He certainly looked like he was enjoying himself in that last game. He had his offense flowing.
Here's Purdue. He's got 12. Releases. And it's Denver with a rebound. Green's got a rebound number 5 here tonight. Here's Miles. It's tipped. And here's the fast break. Longley passes to Stevens. Lays it up and banks it in. Stevens has got 6 here in the quarter.
And once more this half, they find a way to get great position inside.
Pass to Green. And it's hammered home by Green.
And what an aggressive move to the rim. He's really trying to fire up his teammates right now.
Boy, it's not hard to feel inspired after a teammate makes that kind of finish.
Where was the defense? No help. You can't afford to give up these kinds of buckets.
He's as surprised as we are. Most nights that bucket is automatic.
Pass to Wright. Here's Miles. And that one's good. And Green with the assist.
Well, defensively, to me, you've got to do a better job communicating once the screen comes.
To the inside, Purdue. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Purdue's got 14 points.
And his fantastic performance from the last game has carried over to tonight.
No, I think that's the one thing every player is searching for. Consistency. They're giving this guy a chance to carry the offense once again.
Here's Roy. And another basket for Denver.
This guy plays with such confidence and ability to score in a variety of ways. Nice.
Here's Purdue. 14 points for him. Pass to Marion. Here's York. Fires from deep. Oh, wow. Drew the contact, and that three almost went in. So he'll go to the line for 3 free throws.
First team foul.
It's going to go on Chet Holmgren.
The line for Dallas.
And a moment to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for the Mavericks.
They've made an effort to get out and run, using their speed in transition and scoring before the defense can get set.
Yeah, they've also been alert and active on the defensive end, creating turnovers and turning those into points on the offensive end.
Outside, Green. Pass to Powell. Back to Green. There's the 3. Stevens with a rebound. Stevens has got rebound number 5 here tonight.
And it's amazing. Their slim advantage on the board seems a lot larger than it is. And just not letting up at all. I mean, you have to love this approach. You want to get the ball to the guys who make plays.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
Pass to Madsen. Here's Marion. Tipped, and they get it back. Here's Purdue. 14 points for him. Marion misses.
I mean, he's yet to make a shot this quarter. At some point, you got to look for other ways to impact the game.
The quick look, no good that time.
Boy, it's been a struggle in this quarter, and the team needs more.
Hammers it home.
So nice. Wow, that type of finish is just deflating right now for a team that's trying to make a comeback.
Ouch. That's certainly a big-time finish right there. It was one big exclamation point, or maybe even a question mark. Ooh, a great look there. Brought to you by the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. And Dallas calls time here. They defeated Utah in their last game.
Yeah, they really worked hard to find shots in that one. Some good play calls and energy on the offensive end.
Well, give credit to a couple of their guys for their complete locked-in nature. They were just...
And we've reached halftime in this one. The Mavericks on top. They lead by 12. Stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get them.
That's the end of the first half with a score. Your Mavericks 56. The Mavericks 44.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it's been a runaway. Dallas leading by 12. And it's Stevens in at the 5, roaming the paint. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas. Shoots. Marion misses.
Oh, man, he can't get anything to fall. You can feel his frustration.
He is trying to shoot his way out of it, and it might be better for him to pass the basketball at this point. Well, if the defense gives him that shot next time, they could get burned. I think he's just a little bit out of rhythm.
Excellent job of closing out on that three.
It may be the hardest thing to do in basketball. Close under control, and he's more than up to the task.
Over the previous month, we look at the best when it comes to scoring.
At the line for the Nuggets, Green, 2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he drops the first. Both shots good from the strike. Here's Purdue. Pass to York. To the wing, right side. Here's Marion. And the three off target.
Well, you can't buy a bucket. Shut out completely so far, and yet they're still ahead.
And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. Stevens. Oh, an amazing finish with a hand right in his face.
We haven't seen many buckets like that one. These teams have struggled to dial in their shooting.
Well, you have to appreciate the defensive battle for sure. Both squads struggling on the offensive end. We call this grit and grind.
Green finds Holmgren. The focus from Holmgren there.
Well, you can tell a guy who understands how to play through contact. Chet Holmgren finishes strong.
Pass to Stevens. Here's Marion. Here's Purdue. 14 points for him. On the take. Wright with the board. Wright's got 5 rebounds in the game.
Well, it hasn't been the most efficient game for this guy, but their team is fortunate to still be out in front.
Out left to the wing from deep, Holmgren. And that comes off the assist by Green. Green's got 3 assists tonight.
We call this the modern-day big. Can you step away and drain three-point shooting? Mr. Chet Holmgren says, yes, I can.
Marion passes to Purdue. He shoots it. Good as the jump shot falls. Purdue's got 16 points.
Defensively, you can't afford to get stuck on the pick.
You know exactly what that takes. It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
Flying in with the one-hand slam.
That right there was a statement finish. Pass to Marion. Miles with a rebound. Nuggets trail by 7. Outside, Green. To the middle. Here's Wright. Uses the glass on the layup. Wright's got his second bucket.
And their offensive game plan is clear. Get it inside and go to work.
Third quarter of basketball here. A little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
Heading play to stop that easy layup right there. I mean, make him earn it at the line.
Purdue.
That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Here's Roy. Give him 8. Here's Green. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. Green's got 6 here in the quarter. The Mavericks lead by 5. Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Chet Holmgren makes up for his light frame with aggression. He said, quote, "You don't have to take a second look at me now to know that I'm not the biggest dude width-wise, so I have to hit first. Otherwise, the game's not going to go in my favor when things get physical," unquote. Brian, you agree?
I do, and you can tell he just refuses to back down, Allie. Pass to Miles. 3-pointer. Stevens with a rebound. Stevens has got his 7th rebound here tonight. Here's Purdue. Here's York. Rebound by the Nuggets. Holmgren's got his 4th rebound in this one. Inside, here's Green. Goes up and lays it in nice and easy. Green's got 25 points.
Assertive move. You can tell the game's heating up a bit.
And Dallas calls time here.
Protecting the rim has to be their top objective right now.
And the question they're going to have to answer to me is it a problem with the scheme or is it a problem with matchups?
And the Nuggets going with a whole new group. Here in the 4th quarter, just under 2.5 gone by. Purdue passes to Longley. Here's Brown out to the right wing. Pass to Longley. 6 to shoot. Here's Purdue. Denver grabs the miss. On the court for Denver, we've got Green, and it's Palmer in at the 4. Green, the pass to right. And that comes off the assist by Green.
Assisted by
Green's got 5 assists in the game.
0 rim protection. Unforgivable in a tight ball game like this.
You know, we talk about execution offensively coming down the stretch. To me, it's as important defensively, and they didn't have it.
Shots good by Purdue.
And looking to shoot as many threes as possible. This kind of confidence, impressive to see.
To the left side wing. Pass to Roy. Now here's Green. To the paint. Right. Brown grabs the board. Dallas leading by 6. Here's York. Rebounded by Denver. Green's got his 8th rebound here tonight. To the middle. Here's Wright. Brown grabs the board. Dallas has gotten 3 threes to fall out of 4 attempts here in the 4th. Pass to Purdue. Here's Longley. Green with the defensive effort.
That's going up against a defense that knows your tendencies.
Going inside. Oh, plenty of contact on that shot. Officials call the foul, and he'll take 2 free throws now.
And even from where we're sitting, you can clearly tell it was a foul.
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Dallas.
I mean, they've been sinking shots from mid-range, and they found a gap there in the defense, and they just continue to exploit it.
Second chance points have also been a big part of what's happened in this game. Crashing the boards with authority, turning those opportunities into second chance points. Boy, big time on the offensive glass.
And the Nuggets making a change here. Holmgren's checked in.
They're finding a rhythm from the line as they try to cut into this deficit.
Here's Marion. Pass to Purdue. Fires top of the key. And it's Holmgren with a rebound. Holmgren's got 5 rebounds tonight. Outside, Green. And here's Holmgren. Ooh, Holmgren fighting through contact.
You love the poise, the confidence of Chet Holmgren to step up and make a big shot.
Here's Marion.
2 minutes remaining in the game. 2 minutes. Denver foul. Green. First personal foul. 14 foul.
Pass to York. Here's Marion. 5 to shoot. Down low. Stevens' shot is off.
His defensive talent, such a gift for his squad.
Boy, you see the effort. You see the range. This guy prides himself in his ability to shut you down.
Second personal foul. 15 foul. Shooting for Denver. At the line for 2.
First, and that narrows the gap to 1. Brown's checked in for Dallas. tough break as his second attempt is no good at the line. To the inside. Here's Stevens. Pass to Longley. Here's Brown. Green covering. He takes it in. Holmgren with the block. Outside, Green. Inside to take the lead. And the rebound goes to Dallas. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. 54 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter. And it's blocked. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Holmgren. Dallas calls timeout. They're leading by 1. There's 49 seconds left in the fourth quarter here.
Get out of your seat and on your feet for the Beatdown Crew.
And now let's present our New Balance Player of the Game.
I'll tell you, some people can score and some people can scope. And unquestionably, he was able to scope tonight. Man, the defense had no chance. They couldn't contain him, and he took full advantage.
All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Well, Quinn Snyder had some words for his team over the break. He pleaded with his guys to keep their emotions in check, saying, "You're battling right now. Continue to play smart. Don't try to be a hero out there. Play for one another." Guys, let's see what happens.
Okay, thanks, Allie. And there's the rejection. And it's out of bounds. The Nuggets able to retain possession here. Need to get one up to take the lead. Oh, the trifecta!
And talk about stepping up in a big way.
I'll tell you, it takes confidence to pull the trigger in that situation. You love guys who relish the moment.
And Dallas calls time here. They're down by 2. There's 18 seconds left in the game. There's 18 seconds left in the game. Here's Purdue. To end the drought. Count it! And he's tied it up. What a shot!
Gotta fight harder to get over those screens.
You know, we see this all the time. You're basically, as a defender, hoping the man misses rather than putting in the work to get over screens.
Now a timeout called by Denver. The score's all tied at 92. Only 2 seconds left in the fourth. Here's Green. Yes!
Boy, that's all by design now. Get the shot as soon as possible on that inbound pass.
So a close game sees Denver taking this one. With the late victory, they upset plenty of these hometown fans.
They really should take this win to heart. When the pressure